Hi, everybody. This is Erica from In the Company of Cards, and we are here with another Sunday conversation. And I am so excited to bring my guest to you today. This is Violetta. She is amazing. If you're not following her channel, you need to follow her channel. She is spooky accurate. She is really funny. She is just we talked for the first time last week, and I said to her today that I want this to feel like a conversation between old friends who've just met for the first time, because we felt that way when we met
Right
last.
away, we click. We
We
did
clicked.
click. I told Cheryl and I told my viewers it was so easy to click with you.
Well, again, I feel like we've known each other from another time and another place. So Violetta is amazing, and she is she reads differently from most people that I've seen. So you all know what I do. I don't have to explain that. But Violetta is just, I mean, you know what? It's performance art to watch her work.
Oh,
That's what
thank
it is.
you.
So,
So you are
so
so kind.
well, no. I mean, and I don't blow smoke, meaning I tell the truth. That's why people, I think, watch me. We both do that. We both tell the truth. So I am not exaggerating when I say that it's not just performance art. It is sort of seeing spirit move in action. It's seeing spirit operate in real time, because what she'll do is, you'll ask her a question and she will close her eyes and an image comes to her. Is that correct, Violetta? You get it? And a lot of times it's something from your life, which I think is so interesting. Like
And
just
things that I will never even thought about.
exactly. And it's a very good lesson for those of you who are just learning to open up and learning how these things work. One of the things that Violetta is a master at is not censoring what she's given. So she's given an image, and it clearly it's metaphor. So her job is to say, okay, well, that's that image. What's that got to do with anything? But I always say the poet Shelley talked about the idea that what a poet's job is to show what he called the heretofore unapprehended relation between things. Now, what that just means is between every single thing and every other thing, there is a connection. Physics tells us this as well. Everything is energy, right? So, what Violetta does in this genius way is she'll get this image, and instead of saying, well, that has nothing to do with anything,
I'm bigger and bigger.
no, she trusts that it does have something to do with anything. So she looks for that connection. And then you pull cards, and the cards are secondary, it seems to me. The cards for Violetta, they seem to be corroboration, because you've already told us the answer, and then you show the cards, and I'm like, oh my God, the cards say the same thing, and she's not even looking at the cards and getting the answer. So she is just brilliant, so much fun to watch. How many times a week are you on, Violetta?
3 times a
Three
week.
times a
Oh,
week.
now more because I was with Linda. I'm with you.
Mhm.
With Sibyl, I will be next week. And I have another people coming and I have to go back to their channel, so I will be busy.
Well, anytime you get a chance to watch Violetta, whether it's on her channel or one of our channels,
I
you
have to
should
invite you to
seize
my
the
channel.
opportunity. Seize the opportunity, because she's tremendous. So
Thank
welcome, Violetta. That was a long introduction, but welcome.
I have to tell you, I don't have only spirit guy, I have my angel working with him. Once I saw them, only once from the back. My spirit guy is an old guy with a hoodie, burla outfit, and they were walking towards the gazebo on the middle of the lake, white gazebo. There was path in the morning, and I was watching them from a distance because I wanted to see them. Once only they showed it to me, and they were laughing. And sometimes they are showing me as a joke things. And like with Lina Rodriguez, I had the well, she was asking me question about if England will give up on will get away from Euro
The EU. Uh-huh.
EU, and then they show me a finger like that. How could you feel? and I
It's the
and
answer. That they
that
were
was
like,
the answer.
yeah.
Wow. But I didn't, when I came to Canada, I didn't knew what that finger meant. So on the garage sale,
Oh.
one of the first things I bought a statue carving of a finger, and a very religious lady came to my house from a church, and the, I don't have any decoration on the middle of the little table, cheap as borscht. There is a that little carving, and she's asking me, Mrs. Myrna, doctor's wife, "Oh, Violetta, do you know what that means?" Honestly, I said, I think it's a good finger.
That's that's so funny. You didn't
But
know?
I well no, because I was for 4 years in England, but we never I was never aware of that symbol. So and then I discovered. So I said, in England they will discover what it's mean after they will leave the union.
Hmm,
And
hmm.
of course they were
Exactly.
surprised.
They did that to themselves. They did
They
that
did,
to
but they
themselves.
didn't knew like I was oblivious.
Hmm.
So this is something that I know I have to understand. Sometimes I have to put up with my, I call them guys, not guides,
Uh-huh.
because I
I've
feel
heard that. I've heard you say guys. Yes.
they are more like my friends, my best buddies.
I've never seen my guides. I mean, I know that they exist, but I've never
Once,
seen them.
just once, and that was enough. I knew who they are, and like my spirit guy is from 1500s,
Hmm. Wow.
but they choose me even I'm not gifted any computer wise. My English is and I you
Let
know
me tell my audience, for those of you who are not familiar with Violetta, don't get confused by the fact that she has an accent because she is also quite an astute observer, I think, of US politics. She knows who's who and what's what, and I'm very impressed. Americans tend to be very well, sort of, I don't know, self-centered in a sense, in that we don't know a lot about the minutia, the details of the political and social situations that are going on in other countries. We should, just like we only speak English, we don't speak other languages. We should, and we will have to moving forward. But we don't. And I really have appreciated the fact that you are very well versed in the American political social scene.
I didn't had a clue about American politics. I knew Obama is there, but no drama Obama, so I was not paying attention.
Uh-huh.
The moment that Trump was going down on accelerator, I started watching news. Before,
Oh, interesting. The golden escalator. Yeah.
yeah, and then my son put me on a YouTube.
Right.
And he said, Mom, I promise you, you don't have to answer any emails. You don't have to do anything. I will do everything for you. He just wanted to be on YouTube. It was not for me.
Oh, is really?
And he said, you have a gift. You will be different. Yeah. Okay, honey. You want that? I will do it.
I
So
mean,
it was
it's
not
amazing.
any selfishness in it. It was just for me to please him.
Yes.
Yes, your child, you want to be nice. And then when he quit one day, and my husband was going for operation, so he thought
Yes.
that I should quit as well. And I said, no, I'm so much in love with my people. I want to do it.
Well, you are a gift. You are a gift to
It's
everyone who
what I'm
watches you.
supposed to be doing, I believe.
Exactly.
Okay, yesterday was a horrific day.
Hmm.
Well, I was saying that Bibi Yahoo wants to involve USA, and I
Right.
was thinking that he will use some tricks
Right.
because I thought, no, Trump doesn't want to be in a war. But
You know what? I heard that's it. Well, this is the thing. I mean, we'll talk about taking one thing and connecting it to another thing. Everything is connected, right? I think that I thought there might be a false flag operation that maybe Israel would
that's what I was
do
afraid
some
of.
attack or something, and then we would blame
They
Iran.
will be blamed, yeah.
But that wasn't even necessary. All Bibi had to say was, we've got all that waterfront territory in Gaza that can have Trump's name all over it if you play your cards right. So I think it was that. I think he was very upset by the fact that nobody went to his birthday parade. Even the soldiers didn't want to be there. So that was
And
a problem.
as well, that he is laughing stock even for Kim Jong Un.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Did
Yes.
you
Well,
watch
those
that?
soldiers, they march in. I mean,
No, no, but he even
he is a
really
laughing stock.
belittled Melania. And boy, what a speech! He's anchored it in TV
Yeah.
in North Korea. I have to post it. If I didn't post it, that one, I have to post that video as well on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, to let people see that.
Uh,
Well,
yeah,
well, he's a narcissist, and when you make fun of a narcissist, there can be consequences for that.
they are
Also
vicious.
sadistic. I mean, he said, well, what did he say? I'm going to look at it and decide in 2 weeks. Maybe I will, maybe I won't.
Days in
Meanwhile,
2 weeks.
yeah, those are some fast weeks. That's right. So it's ugly. I know that I looked at it yesterday. It came on quickly as soon as I heard the news.
I know you were brave. I was in pain. I couldn't do it yesterday.
It's terrible. But one of the things that I didn't look at that a viewer later asked me to look at, and I said I would, and maybe we can both look at it. One of the concerns about these bombs, aside from the obvious, is that, you know, we know what happened at Chernobyl.
I have that question actually.
Okay, so that's something to look at is will there be nuclear fallout of a Chernobyl type because of
No, that
this?
moment ago, just few seconds before I came to the TV, I had my TV on,
Mhm.
and it was MNSBC, and they said no nuclear radiation is detected.
How do
So
they
there
know
was
that that fast?
no, it will be fast. It will be one day. Yeah,
Okay.
so they will know. Next day, when Chernobyl blew up in Switzerland, they knew about that.
Oh,
That's what I learned from TV, and I called my mom in Poland because I was already in Canada, 1975, 77. And I called my mom. I said, if you have foil, you know, aluminium foil put
mhm,
in the window because the radiation is so dangerous. We are on the other side of, from Ukraine. We are close to Germany, but that's what I heard that can help people with nuclear. And I said, go to the drugstore and buy iodine
mhm.
to protect yourself.
Right.
But
That's
don't ever take too much iodine, just a few drops, because iodine, that was I have antique stores, so I sometimes telling people when they are buying those iodine little bottles, they
bottles.
have a texture with the skeleton sometimes, that was a way of a lot of ladies were, shh, I'm sorry, my husband is coming and she has to inform
Okay.
him.
Yeah.
Vivi, that's daddy. Vivi. Okay. So that was the way a lot of women in 18th, 19th century was committing a suicide. They were taking iodine because after death they will look pretty with the yellow skin like Trump has.
Mm.
That's just digression, but that's, so if people will try to take too much iodine, that
So
can kill.
don't do that, you all. Well,
Yeah,
let's
that
see. I
can.
mean, let's look. Let's see. Will there be um,
Any
any
follow-ups
ill?
about the nuclear? Okay. I will count for myself and you will count for yourself, okay? I see just two ladies gossiping on the street.
Right.
When they are sweeping the floor, the street, they are just gossiping, low gossips, nothing really big. That's what I'm seeing.
Okay. So you don't think it'll be anything?
It's
Okay.
a cheating card, Three of Swords. He wanted to be an excitement and he was looking from different point of view on this. So he thought, well, I will tell them, they will believe. His
So you know what I got? I read, of course, Lenormand, and my three cards are the bouquet, the young man, and the mountain. So, in terms of any kind of radiation sickness, I didn't see that. But here he thinks this is my big uh, gift that I have. I have these big bombs that I can use. This is him. And I'm going to use them because I feel like it, because I want to, because I can, because this young man um, he does what he wants to do. It's that kind of energy. But I think this was a big mistake. And I said this last night. I think that this is another nail in his coffin. I think that there will be people who say, wait a minute, we elected you and we backed you because you said you were going to be isolationist, no wars. Nobody asked for this. Everybody was minding their business on a Saturday night. And you did this and didn't consult the Congress, didn't ask permission, didn't inform them, nothing. I think this is going to be a big problem for him.
My question for you,
Mhm.
do you think that he will get impeached for something like that? Because I believe that a lot of Republicans are now, we are, and you said ungluing, they are ungluing. What a wonderful expression. It is really smart expression to express, that, yeah, they are, I said long time ago, when the fish will start being smelly, big, those huge fishes will be hanging from the ceiling in rotunda in Congress.
Mhm.
They will be. We are not with him.
Away from, well, half of the MAGA base were very specifically in saying we do not want to be involved in any war, any place. So not only will he have a lot of Democrats against him, he will now have half of his base against him. The question is, will that give the Congress the backbone that they need? Uh, I mean, I think it will. I do. I think it will. We don't know. That's the other question. Here's another question is Iran has said that they're going to close the Straits of Hormuz. Well, that's where the oil comes through. So that will cause, prices to go up, et cetera. But will there be other ramifications? So, for example, they don't have a lot of friends, Iran, but they do have friends in, like they have terrorist friends, we'll call them. So will there be attacks on the US in the homeland here?
Yes, but what you are reading my mind.
Well,
Is there
that's
a
what we
threat
do,
on?
right? We're
Yeah,
psychic.
is there a threat on USA land? Look, you
Yeah,
are
that's what we
getting
want
more
to know, right?
questions, and we didn't prepare for
We didn't
that.
prepare anything. Okay, so I'm going to count one,
So I heard your voice and I pulled three cards as well, but you
Okay.
go first.
So I got the ring, the coffin, and the mountain. The ring makes me feel like here we go again because we had 9/11 where I lived on the East Coast then, very close to where it was, but you could smell it. It was terrible. So I feel like again we will have something happen with a coffin. I mean, I don't need to explain to anybody what a coffin is. But what's interesting is again, the last card I have is the mountain. So
Some
there,
of the cards are coming back.
yes, yes. So what did you get?
I have that some other countries would like to be a friend with you, like China, for example.
Mhm.
They don't want to be stopped by delivering the parcels to
With the
in Suez,
tariffs and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, in Suez Channel. So they will be telling Iran, well, we can be friends with you. We don't want what Trump is doing.
Hmm.
He's a poor leader that we can't trust him.
Hmm.
There will be, and the other countries will follow him
Hmm.
because France don't want to have a war. No one wants to have a war. Europe don't want to have a war. Canada doesn't, and even USA don't want to.
No.
No. So I see reunited with other countries. They wouldn't trust him, so Trump, so that he will lose his and Queen of Love, Queen of Communication. She will be able, Queen of Hearts, Queen of Cups. People will reunite together.
Hmm.
They will tell that the Congress take him out, or we are abandoning you.
So let's look at that.
But
Um, that's a good. So here's the problem with. I mean, we have a lot. We have several ways that he can be dispensed with. We'll say. One is that I think his life is still in danger. I think there will be a couple of more attempts, but that's that.
I said that too
Yeah.
before.
Another way is the 25th Amendment. But the person who would have to put that in motion is Vance, and I don't think he'll do it.
I think they both will kind of lose the grant from their feet because Vance is too behind
Exactly.
him, walking and
Exactly.
kissing the same time.
Right.
So they,
So
they
that's
might
not going to happen. So the
no.
third way is what you mentioned, which is impeachment. Now, there are already articles of impeachment that have been drawn up against him. Uh, they haven't come to a vote because we know that the Republicans were not going to approve that. But that can maybe changed as of last night. So let's see. Will he be impeached? What did you get?
Even Margie Taylor Greene would be not on his side.
That's right.
Empty house. So that's symbol of, and I said I see White House being empty.
Yeah.
Oh, that might be the answer. I didn't pull three cards, so I have to pull them. Will he be impeached? Crying over broken relationships. The leader, and my intuition is correct. The high priestess, it's symbol of my intuition to tell me, yeah, you are right, you are on something. Today in New York City, they have already manifestation that Trump is criminal. The someone who broke the law, so he is a criminalist of the war.
Oh, well, a war criminal. Well, he is a war criminal. Yeah.
Yes, and in that Times Square, huge manifestation right now. And I
Good.
thought, whoa, people are already with the posters, big,
I
big
think that's
flags.
great. So what I got was the bouquet again. I got the whip and I got the ship. So I think that as bad as this is, as horrible as it is, as much as we didn't want this to happen, it can be, it can turn
Good
out to
thing.
be a gift for us, for our side. There will be a lot of fighting about this, a lot of arguing back and forth. But in the end, I think he goes. I think he goes.
And in my one of my videos, I said that in the previous life, he was a captain of the ship, and he ended up being
You
through.
said that he was the captain of a slave ship. I remember I saw that. Oh,
And then carrying the tiny lady who was suing him,
oh, E. Jean Carroll.
Agent Carol. She was a slave that time on his ship, and she opened the place where the slaves were, and she let them out, and they threw him over the cliff,
You said that.
over the board, and he was eaten by sharks. He's so afraid of sharks this lifetime.
I know. He talks about sharks, which have nothing to do with anything. You know what? She wrote a book, E. Jean Carroll, that just came out. Can I just tell you, it was wonderful. Wonderful. It's about the two trials. And she is an amazing, amazing writer, really brave. And I mean, the book had me on the edge of my seat. I read it in one sitting. It was that good. It was that good. So, okay, now here's the thing about this impeachment. Now, we are halfway through the year, right? Yeah. This impeachment, I don't think will come before 2026.
But I think now it will start a big time
Oh,
in
well, they have,
July, August, because if there will be any attempt on American soil, people will rebel to him like hell. They are so upset about tariffs. Tariffs will be coming in July, August, and if there will be any destruction in American soil, people will not put up with him. And on top of that, Musk said, "Well, I'm not going to give you any money."
mhm,
Another blessing.
right, right.
So things are piling on him.
They are.
And Cheryl, I don't understand, why did you see my girlfriend, who
Oh, I
is
love
my,
Cheryl. Yes.
yes. And she said, why the White House must be empty? They will kick him out of the office. I don't know when. That's not up to me. If it will be August, September, October, but that, as you said, the GOP will be peeling off like from the
But the
mandarin.
question is, will enough of them peel off that soon? I mean, I think that's worth looking at because if it happens this fall, that would be great. Otherwise, we have a whole nother year to wait. Okay, so will he be impeached? Let's say, will he be impeached before the new year in the next 6 months?
Three cards.
Three cards. One.
Long time ago, I saw him running away to some island and big rocks. Hard place to live, no golfing, because there are just rocks.
Like Napoleon at Elba.
Elba and St. Helena first and then Elba. So I believe that he will have to run away. maybe not being impeached, but he will be trying to escape somehow. Surprise, not doing the job to the fullest. So maybe you are right, maybe not yet. But what he put, he will receive eventually. This will be his destination, that the law will follow him. He is so above the law that it's unbelievable. And he is like a little greedy kid who is eating ice cream and eating, and then he will get cramps and be sick. So he is doing things that he shouldn't be doing.
Mhm. So I have the book, the whip, and the house. Now, the book in Lenormand is about things that we don't know, things that we're not familiar with. But I think sometimes a book is just a book. I think the book will be thrown.
Decision.
He'll be this is a card for punishment, the whip. The book, which is the law, the book will be thrown at him, and that will affect his place in the house, in the White House. So I think if it's not all the way done, he will be well on his way to being impeached by the beginning of the year or by the end of this year.
Yeah, because and I hope Democrats will take over the Congress, and they will be able to change the Supreme Court rulings.
Well, the problem is, I think we will win the House. I do think we'll win the House. The Senate is a problem because of the number of seats that will be available. Like everybody's not up for reelection in 2026. So we'd have to win um, states that are very hard to win if we were to get the Senate as well.
Everything is possible.
Everything is possible.
Everything is possible, and hopefully people would. But I believe that they will have to impeach some of the rulers in the Supreme Court.
Well, and there's talk of that, Alito and Thomas being impeached, but that would have to be together the House and the Senate. One body alone is not going to be able to do that. But you know what? Then there's that other possibility, and I keep telling people, "Oh, I'll look at it in July," but let's look at it now, which is his health,
Okay,
because Mother Nature could,
helping us
yeah,
sometimes.
yeah, okay. Okay, you want to go first?
I saw the bruise on his left hand.
Hmm.
I think it's symbol of IV.
Hmm. Right,
My husband was taking a few years ago, and he had bruises.
right.
And that's most of the people. I think Biden had that too.
Yep.
And he's hiding that hand all the time under the mascara and so on. At least he will have a job in the mascara
That's
company.
true.
I should put this on so I will be more orangey. I'm so pale. Now, but I think there is something that he is getting IVs.
Right. I saw the same thing.
The same reading, like, I think that's kind of odd. Good harvest for us. He will be leaning maybe for help to a doctor's, and he will have to go for the quieter time, symbol of going for the quieter job. So hopefully, I feel that he has some gut problem. And I can tell you, it's a problem. I was suffering since Friday night.
Oh,
Yesterday, I didn't go to work.
really?
So oh, I said, I swallow the snake once in a while.
Yeah. And then you feel it. All right. I pulled five cards. So I have the young woman, the letter, the birds in the middle, coffin. I like that. And the anchor. So what I think is that he is becoming weaker and weaker and weaker, right? This is not a strong, yang energy man card. This is a weak card. And I think he gets weaker and weaker, goes down, down, down. I do think that there is a woman, probably young and attractive, who is a nurse who looks out for him. I think he has a diagnosis. I think he has prescriptions that he takes. I think that people are talking about this. The birds is like um, meetings and conversations. So we're not the only ones who think that this is a thing. The government is looking at it, medical professionals, everybody's looking at this because again, we have the coffin. And if the last card is the anchor, he is being pulled down, 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 down.
Can I ask you to pull those two cards, the girl,
Mhm.
and the second one was
The letter.
letter? To me, both of those cards have a poison flowers. Well,
Mm,
the lily of the valley is the symbol of being poison,
mhm.
and the rhododendron, I think that's how I call it, but I don't
A
know exactly.
rhododendron is it? Yeah, it's a flower. Rhododendron.
You have to be careful around that one too, because it can be poisoning.
Well,
So
you know,
those two things to me, they are just, and I didn't pull it to the card. I didn't pull the card, so that's okay. But I think the message came through your cards. He has some poisoning in his body.
mhm, mhm. Well,
That's actually I love your cards, but this two I didn't see before from the closeness, because when you're doing your own, it's from a distance. But
right,
this
right,
one
right.
is much closer, and I
A
see.
lot
Ah,
closer. Mhm, mhm,
Lily of the Valley. I was just talking with one lady about that,
mhm,
and so she reminded me the name. And then the rhododendron, I remember, and from England.
mhm.
They told me that, oh, be careful, wash your hands after you are playing with this, because I think the leaves are poisoning. But I knew that they told me to watch my for my health.
Well, that we know that one of 47's good friends is very good at poisoning.
With that,
Putin.
oh yeah. Well, I would like to see the flying bird,
Yeah.
but he's not anymore in the Trump Tower.
No, I know, but that would, well,
Just kidding. Because
I
I'm
mean,
calling.
there are many roads to Rome. I mean, I really think that is the question, is whether justice gets him through impeachment or whether s- he gets himself from all of the bad ways that he lives or whether he's helped out.
Yeah, but he's eating such a bad food.
Right, right.
Yeah.
McDonald's. Ugh,
Well,
yeah.
many, we've been there about 3 years ago last time, just for once lunch with my husband. We are not going there anymore
No, I
because
bet you felt the snake in your stomach that time.
no, he didn't wake up that time, but
Okay. Lucky. You're lucky. All right, here's another question that people have been asking. So you may have heard what Vance said today. He said,
no,
okay, so this was early this morning. I guess they had a press conference or something. I don't know. But he said, well, we used to have dumb presidents in charge of this stuff, but now we have somebody who really knows what he's doing, etc. But he actually used the term dumb presidents. Anyway, um, many of us who do this work have said that we cannot envision Vance in the Oval Office, in the White House as the president. Is that true for you too?
Well, I said that I see him writing a book, but I didn't see him being in the office.
Right. I've said the same thing. I don't know how that is supposed to happen. Although I think I did, I think I looked at this yesterday or maybe the day before, and I said for a minute he will be in the Oval Office
Oh,
because if
but
something
people will rebel to him as much as they rebel to Trump. And
exactly, he won't stay. That's right.
he is the extension, the tail of the Don Don, I call him.
Yes, yes, the wagging tail. Now, one of the things that you've said on your program, and I took great comfort in this, we are just, I mean, we are an embarrassment. I had nothing to do with it, but nevertheless, as an American, it's really embarrassing the way we've conducted ourselves. But you said that you saw once he's gone, in a couple of years, we would be welcomed back into the society, polite society of the world, we'll just call it. Do you still see that?
3 cards, please. But you pull your cards as
Okay,
well.
I'll say the numbers for you. Okay, one,
Mm.
two, three. Will we be welcomed back into the?
First, you will be sitting on the edge of the sofa,
Mm,
waiting to be invited to the group.
mhm.
But eventually, people will start looking from more spiritual way of looking at that. And at the beginning, yes, feeling the disconnection, trust issue because the border and a lot of chaos. I think because I'm seeing you eventually sitting on the sofa, someone politely will ask you to join the party with everyone else.
You know what I like about that image that you just talked about is that we'll be invited to sit on the sofa because here's what I think. We will not be at the head of the table like we've always been before. Because if this happened once, what's to say that it couldn't happen again? So the world is always going to have an eye out. So they may very well say, yeah, here, come here, America. You sit right next to me. Not because I'm your buddy, I'm your pal. I want you to think that, but because I want to be able to watch you. You're not
Yeah,
allowed to
it's
sit.
not the aggressive way sitting.
Uh-huh.
It's just kind of
Yeah. Yep. So I pulled again this young woman, the cross, and then the clover. So again, to me, she is in a weaker state than she was prior to electing this idiot twice. So we've been weakened in the world. This is painful. And the pain of this will not go away. I mean, I hope it doesn't go away, by the way. We need to remember how low we let ourselves sink. So it's painful. And then we have Clover, and Clover is one of I call it one of the happiness cards. We will be lucky to be asked to sit on the edge of the sofa.
Can I say something about Clover? Because I make mistake about Granny's advices on the last video.
Mhm,
And I said that I thought about pink clover
mhm.
that is good for hot flashes. So please pay attention because I mix that one with the something for chewing for your tooth.
Oh, for toothache. Okay. Yeah, no, this is very good, very lucky. But it's another thing I'll say about Clover, it is quick. In other words, the the generosity that the world will extend to us to say, come sit on the edge of the sofa, um, we have to earn it in order to be able to stay on it. This is temporary. Like, in other words, let's see how you do on the edge of the sofa. Because, if you do bad stuff again, you're on the floor. But if you behave yourselves, maybe you can have both of your butt cheeks on the sofa instead of just one.
And clover is as well, I think it's a white one, but please check for on Google. That is good for cancer, for leukemia.
Well,
So
we
it's for blood.
we have a
Blood is everywhere in our veins.
yeah, well, we have a cancer in this country. I'm just saying.
It is actually the whole world is suffering because of that cancer.
Right. That's right.
Because poor leadership is hurting the whole world.
Mhm.
And he shouldn't be allowing himself to be that unpredictable and not thinking about the best interests of the country. Make America great again. Again, yeah, make me great again.
Yeah, well, we know, he's talking about a time when Black people were slaves and women were barefoot and in the kitchen and had no vote. I mean, that's the time that he wants us to go back to. Um, I wanted to ask you, uh, sort of it was a big question. Um, what lesson do you, I mean, because there's many, what lesson do you think America will learn from this experience? Because I'll tell you why I ask that. Some people have said, and maybe they're just trying to come up with something nice to say, that he's here to show us our worst selves, and that we then have an opportunity to say, yeah, that's who I want to be, or no, that's not who I want to be. That it's an opportunity to look at ourselves in a way that we never have before. I mean, Americans, for example, don't talk about things like race, and yet everything involves race here in this country. There's a lot of things that we don't talk about because they're uncomfortable, or we just don't talk about them, but that need to be talked about. Is his presence, was he brought here? I mean, you've said in the past, for example, that he was Genghis Khan, that he was this ship captain of
And an
this
actor.
ship.
And he was an actor.
Well, he's definitely an actor now too. But um, and then we look at people like Stephen Miller, who has to have been a Nazi in a previous life. Are they sent here not just to learn lessons for themselves, but to show us something about ourselves so that we can decide, yeah, we love that, or no, that's not who we want to be?
1, 2, 3, please.
One, two, three.
Thank you, my guides. It is like someone is so sleepy you can't open the eyes, and we have the saying in Poland, put the mattress in your eyes to keep your eyes open.
Mhm. We say toothpicks.
Toothpick, oh my gosh, even worse. Can you imagine? But it is something like to open people's eyes, and that's what you said.
Yeah.
Very similar, to see what the mistakes they were doing.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I have people who are surrounding me, my friends, and some members of my family that I don't talk about the politics
Right.
about with, because I know that they were pro-Trumpers. I'm not bugging them or what you think, because I don't want them to suffer. I know it's very hard to be wrong. It's
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
painful to say something, to be not correct. And I'm always thinking, oh, maybe I didn't understood this correctly. And sometimes the vision was, you can read both ways. So that the way I'm at the beginning, I was just saying the visions, but that was not enough for people. So I think that we have to understand, opening eyes, putting the matches or toothpicks in your eyes. Painful experience, very unpleasant, but it is hard to see the truth. Some of my, when I was doing private reading, one of the ladies said, we don't have any more red hats walking on the streets anymore.
Hmm.
So people are slowly but surely giving up on those expensive hats that they were instead of paying $1, they were
Yeah,
paying for
right.
$50
Yeah.
because he was taking the money to his own pocket.
Hmm.
That's expensive experience for them,
Hmm.
and painful,
Hmm.
extremely painful. And the families, they don't know even how to look in people's eyes after that,
Hmm.
because whatever he promised that the prices will go down, boo, he put the prices up. He destroyed relationships with everyone. What the cards are saying, king of money, a leader. And people had to learn. People have to learn on their own experience. You can't teach them sometimes things without experience and seeing what they were warned. You can't really raise your kids. You can't smack your kid before he will go and do something wrong.
Right.
You
Right.
have to let them to
That
do it,
happens.
and
And then,
then
then smack him.
warn them, then smack them, because that was a joke. But my husband's father was telling my husband before he would do something wrong, he said, smell the Mr. Belt.
Smell the mist. Oh, absolutely. Everybody knows the belt.
Yeah.
Everybody of a certain generation. Yes.
So he didn't want him to get
Yeah.
spanked, but he said, before you will do something stupid today, smell the Mr. Belt.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I thought that was so funny and so smart.
It's smart. It's smart. Well, I love what you said, and I pulled five cards, and so we have the lily, the heart, 47, right in the middle,
Mhm.
the birds, and the scythe. Okay, so what does that mean? So interesting that he popped up right in the middle, I think, because this is about him. Why is he here? What is the purpose of that? First card is the lily, and I love this. This is another one of the happiness cards. The lily, the bouquet, and the clover are all happiness cards. This is a card for not just happiness, but peace.
Innocence.
Right. And maturity, though, too. Maturity. Now, I can mirror this card with the scythe. So he has caused us to cut each other, fight each other, destroy the peace. But the thing about the scythe is it cuts, that's true, but there's a curve in the blade. And so when you cut the wheat, now you have all this wheat, but the cart is over there. So you take the wheat in the curve of the blade and you carry it over to the cart for it to be further processed. So this is a cart of both cutting, but also the opposite. It's the card of gathering in. So through this awful experience of being split one from another, brothers from sisters and parents from children and all of that. We now have to use the curve in the blade to find our way back to this. Now, the other two cards, we have the heart, that's of course love, mirrored by the birds. We have to decide, we talk about a more perfect union. We know we can never be perfect, but we can strive to be better, better. And this painful experience brought to us by you know who,
Mhm.
gives us this opportunity to find our way back to each other and to find peace. So, are you one of the things that you
The way
said
you
that,
are reading the cards, I love it.
but that's what we do. I read the cards. But one of the things that I think is very important that you brought up, and I say this a lot, you talked about your neighbors and some relatives and stuff, and you said it's really hard to be wrong. And you're absolutely right. Nobody likes to be wrong. And so one of the things that I think that the rest of us have to do, even if we have to practice saying it in the mirror so that we look sincere, is not saying, well, I told you so. It doesn't make people come
Feel
to our
stupid,
side. It
stupid,
makes them
and
feel stupid.
deleted. Yeah,
And so we have to find other ways of bringing them in with that curve, bringing them in peaceful ways. Like, okay, we learn by mistakes that we make. This was a big one, but welcome home. Glad that you're back. Now let's move forward. And I think that that's one of the lessons that we're being given an opportunity to learn is that we can be right, but we don't have to be nasty about the fact that we're right.
they are extremely sensitive about that. So
Yes.
better don't even touch the subjects. Let them to go off few months, few years. No one wants to feel stupid.
No. That's why
And
they
they
take
will
up
have to
their
feel stupid.
people who have the signs on their lawn in the middle of the night. They'll go to their lawn. And so you wake up the next morning, you look out the window and you say, the sign is gone. But notice they did it in the middle of the night because they're ashamed.
And that's good because that shows that they are not comfortable anymore with him.
That's right.
And as long as they will start pulling those signs off and taking them from the trucks and
Mhm.
taking the hats off, that will be the signal for rest of the USA and the rest of the world that he is, as you said, peeled off from the party.
Mhm.
We will have enough. I love that expression because it is like, oh, I have signed on my car, Psychic Violetta, and it's some letters are peeling off. I have to replace that.
Yep.
It
Yep.
is peeling off.
Peeling off from him. Yeah. Now, because he is who he is, he will well, we know he has the National Guard here in California. They didn't need to be here in California because LA was not what they were saying, but okay. And he did it in such a way that it's not just for California, that theoretically he could put the National Guard all over the country. Do you think we're supposed to have another big demonstration in, I think, the middle of July? I forget the date. I have to look for the date. Do you think that he will try to use the military even in a more strong way than he has done so far?
That's a hard question. Three cards.
One, two, three.
Revolving doors. How you see that as something, those doors that opens and close.
Mhm.
And there was a movie. You go from one door, you go and you see your future this way, and the other door will show you the same situation but different outcome. I don't think it will be the same outcome that he had before. I don't think that the army and the navy would like to participate in it. They
Mhm.
will have some excuse not to do it.
Mhm.
That's what it is. They would like to have be proud of the jobs, not doing the stupid mistakes. And they may say, you go on your own. You want start something on your own, do it. You are fool, but I'm not going with you. I
I
don't think
agree.
it will be as popular. They will not want to be involved in the war, and especially in civil war.
Right. Now, I got something very similar. So when this card, the bear, pops up, it often means him also as a narcissist because it's one of the meanings of the card. So here he is rearing up on his hind legs by trying to send the military in. But what he doesn't know is that that's not going to work. And this will make him scared. You know, the image that comes to mind when I think of these three cards together is this is the mice. Mussolini. Remember how Mussolini would walk around like this? And how did he end up? Upside down,
Hanging up.
hanged upside down. And I think that this is his fear. He doesn't know if that's how he's going to end up because
But
book
the
is
book
about what
will
he
be
doesn't
put on him. The book will be put on him.
know. Mhm.
And the Congress will have to take some oligo, the law will have to hit him.
You know, I heard somebody say, I think it was his niece, but it made sense. He does whatever he wants. And his theory is, I'm going to do what I want to do, and eventually I'll get stopped. But until then, I'm going to push, 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 push. And that's true. But what's important is what I just said before, push, push, push. Eventually I'll get stopped. Like, I think he knows that this ride is not forever. This being in this high place is not forever. And the older he gets, the more scared he gets. Now, it's true that if you have a rat and you've cornered it in a corner, that's when it is its most dangerous,
Mhm.
right? But I think he is going from this to being scared. And when he's like that, you can't tell what anybody's going to do. But I agree with you that the military, you could see it the way they marched. They weren't marching, they were strolling, their hands behind their back, like they were just taking a walk. It was
They
great.
weren't even looking at him.
Oh, they didn't look at him. Yep.
They didn't salute to him, nothing.
Oh,
He was sitting like an old bummer, not happy at all.
he just, he looked depressed.
Depressed because that was not what he wanted.
No.
And this year is getting worse and worse for him.
Yep. Yep.
Started from his birthday, and
It's just gonna get worse and worse and worse. So we need to,
he don't have imagination, and that's what it is. The word that, and he don't listen to others.
no, no,
When I learned that he is going to run for presidency, I said to my husband, he can't be on that position. He don't know how to listen. And he's a cheater. I knew at the beginning when, who will win when he had the apprentice. I said, oh, he will go for that person because it's a best kisser of the behind.
right, right.
That was my calculation for him, and I knew right away
Who the winner is going to be because whoever sucks up is the one that he.
that he wants to have on his team. But otherwise, he was not unpredictable. He was predictable on that point.
All right, speaking of prediction, and then I'll let you go about your Sunday, but so Anonymous has said a couple of interesting things. So about a month ago, they said, okay, so we're going to put some information out, and you know how they are with the mask
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just blah blah. You say, okay, so you don't know what they're talking about, but whatever. Then they didn't even wait for the month to pass. They came the other day and they said, um, so this is not the thing that we were going to tell you because we're going to tell you that in the beginning of July, around the 4th of July. We don't know what it is, but we're going to look. But there's something else that we have to tell you that's really important. And and it was about I think it was about the election being having been rigged. Yeah. But so I went in, oh wait, was it? I don't know, it was about the election being rigged or whether there was going to be something really bad that happens, like an attack or something, which, given what we did last night, that's not outside the realm of possibility. But I want to know what was what did they originally talk about? Like, what are they going to tell us on July 4th? Is it related to the elections? Is it related to war? What are they going to tell us on July 4th?
Oh boy. Something related to the watch, because I see the symbol of ladies' watch, more classy, more fancy. So something about the timing for him. He will have to walk on the eggshells. Queen of Love and the Judgment. Queen of Love is symbol of a doctor as well. So maybe there is something about his health that they will tell us. The time is clicking for him. What did you get?
So I pulled five. I got the dog, the moon, Clover, the scales, and the bear again, which of course is Trump. I think that it's something about um, the fairness of things, the fairness of things. And so that's why it feels like election related. I think that they're going to say he had friends, dog is the card for friends, who helped him, because I can mirror it with the last card. Friends helped him. And the moon is the card for your reputation, your image. So whatever this
Very
friend,
nice erotic secrets.
yeah,
And we telling showing secrets, but not completely bright light in dark,
well, no, that's more like tarot. This
yeah.
is Lenormand, and so it's different. This is more
No, I'm sorry.
his reputation, his image. So I think that um, the scales were weighted in his favor in the election, so that people would think that he was so great that he won a mandate. And a friend did this. Four friends did this. Now, in the center is Clover. And that's interesting to me because I'm not sure why, but I'm going to pull oh,
To
okay.
me, it's a multiply so many times because clover is so easy to grow.
And it's going to tell us something we didn't know before. So
And
this,
I have the feeling when you are talking about that it's related to Musk.
exactly, exactly. I think it is.
He was his friend, and he said, if it wouldn't me for me, he wouldn't be a president. And
Yes,
someone is digging. So if they are
yes.
digging to that, that might be one more thing.
I think that that's what it is. I think it's related to Musk. Yeah. And Starlink and and we know that Iran, Russia, China, all of them may have had a hand in
And
this.
we don't hear anything about Musk anymore. Good.
No, he's around. He
Yeah,
occasionally
that the rocket blew up, and it was just a scratch. So many millions of dollars
see the
scratch.
picture. Did you see the picture? It was huge, huge.
It was the biggest rocket ever built.
Uh-huh. Well, it was the biggest explosion ever then, too. I
And he's not feeling, oh, that's just a scratch.
no,
Gosh.
no,
He should be removed from that experiments because so many of them are not working.
no, I know.
Because the
Well,
scratches,
he's got too
how
many, he's
many
got all
times you
these.
have to scratch to start the fire?
That's right. That's right. And all these government contracts that he has. And now Starlink is in the White House. But I think that what Anonymous is going to talk about is something to do with the election, something to do with interference in the election by someone who's a friend of Trump's and wanted to make it look like a real mandate. So we'll see. I guess we'll
We
find
will.
out in a couple of weeks.
Oh,
Violetta,
thank you
thanks
so
so much.
much for inviting me. It was such a pleasure.
Well, I hope you'll come back and
I will. You will have to be on my channel.
I would love to. I would love to.
I
So
have to learn
Psychic
how
Violetta,
to.
you all, I'm going to put it in the show notes, but you have to find her because 3 times a week she's on her channel. You can even put questions in the feed and she'll answer the questions. And she's terrific. And now you get a little bit of a sample of how she works. And I'm just delighted that you said yes to me, Violetta. And
Oh, I'm so happy. And I have to tell you, when I was watching your cards from the closeness today, I started using my intuition. So whoever is watching you, they can learn to use the intuition more because you are showing the card, and I'm probably showing them from too much distance. But it is so important for people to see the picture and understand what.
I'm so glad that you said that because one of the reasons that I started the channel, and I've only been around for not even a year, is that I want people to know that it's not just that you're special and that I'm special. We all are connected to source. All of us. It's our birthright.
And
And
we are not jealous about each other
no,
gifts. We have to appreciate that we are one of the community.
that's right. And I just wanted to show people a system that is friendly, easier than some systems to learn. And I show the cards because a lot of times I'll say, okay, I'm going to talk about this, and then people will pull their own cards and then compare what they thought to what I said, and it's very nice because the people are learning.
Did you draw those pictures? Are they
Oh,
your?
I worked with an artist. I told her exactly what I wanted, and her name is also Erica, which is funny, but
Oh,
yes, and she did a beautiful job. I wanted a deck that was serious and beautiful and deep, and that's what she gave me. So I'm thrilled.
I'm still dreaming about making my own tarot cards. I started painting few paintings and I didn't finish because everything went different direction.
Yeah.
My husband got sick. I had that channel. It was like a gift to me, but it took me from the destiny that I was walking through. I started writing my memoir the day that Leszek invited me to do the YouTube channel. And he didn't knew that I started writing my memoir. I finished after 6 pages and that's it, no more. Because, and I think it was not the time that I was supposed to do it.
Not be the time. I have one that I'm going to be, this is my next year's project. My birthday's at the end of July, and I always try to do something new, for the year. And that's what I'm going to do is write a memoir.
But you are a wonderful writer, and you were a teacher all your life, so you English teacher, so it's so easy for you.
You
For
get
me,
you need an editor. That's all you need, an editor. All you need is to just write it down, and an editor, that's their job. They will make it sound as beautiful as you deserve it to be.
and I'm glad that I was pushed this direction because now I can write on the telephone, so I can make some writing in English. I
Yes.
my English was 2 zeros before one, not
Well,
after.
but your
But
English is terrific now.
oh, thank you.
She even
But
she even tells jokes, you all, in English that are very funny.
sometimes too naughty, so I'm trying not to go that direction.
Funny when you tell a naughty one and then your face is very straight. And I'm like, wait, did she just say that?
Well, yesterday when I was watching the attack on Iran, I came to my husband and I told him a joke. I said, little mouse is running from the safari, and the lion is asking the little guy mouse, "Why are you running away? What is your problem?" And the little guy is saying, "Elephant lady was raped, and everyone is going to lose the balls. They will castrated everyone because they are looking for the guilty one."
Yeah,
And it was to me like that. They bombed,
that's
no
right.
proof, but they will be trying to castrate every guy because the elephant was
It's
having.
right. I don't understand this. Well, you know what? I'll just tell you this. When this whole Israel Gaza thing started, I wrote what I had to say about it. I spoke about what I had to say about it. It's genocide, in my opinion. And I saw someone online, it was an actress, and she said, all Black people should be pro-Israel in this fight. And it just made me so angry. And I said, Israel has had or Jews have had a very tough row to hoe throughout history, right? All throughout history. It's been very difficult for them. And then, of course, we had World War II and the Nazis and all of that. Black people have also had their struggles, but we took a very different lesson, apparently, from our experience of oppression than Israel has taken. Israel is just bound and determined to destroy anything around it because I guess it's paranoia. I get where it comes from, but that was not the lesson that we took. Because if we had taken that lesson,
No, it will be this devastation for
exactly. And it's
everyone.
not been. We took a very different lesson. And, someone on my channel said, when you talk about this, I'm going to ask you to say Netanyahu, don't say Israel. And first of all, I don't know why they're telling me what to say on my channel, but anyway, as someone else said, he was elected. Somebody elected him. So it's the country of Israel that's perpetrating genocide on the people of Gaza. That's just the fact. So the fact that we now, and I mean I say we because I am an American, that we have joined with Israel to do this thing. Uh, mm, I don't know.
Yeah, I am so against any war, any powers. I'm a daughter of a German, and he was a soldier, 16 years old, and 1 week he got the ticket to join the army. And I'm granddaughter of a guy who survived Auschwitz. He
Mm.
was not Jewish, but he survived Auschwitz.
Mhm.
He was from the beginning.
You have both.
Two separate blood mixtures.
Yeah.
In my grandmother died during the war. Another grandmother lost her husband during the war.
Mhm.
And I'm so against just the wars. I think people should be, those leaders should be locked in the cave. Get out when you are ready to make a peace.
Yeah. That's interesting that you brought up that story about your grandfathers, because I tell a story that my name is Erica with a K, and my maiden name was not Robinson. That was my married name. My maiden name was Hageman, Hageman, very German name. And when I was a little girl, I think fourth grade, and we learned about the Holocaust. So there I am, I'm black, but my name is Erica Hageman. And I'm listening to this story about the Holocaust, and I'm sinking lower and lower and lower in my seat. And big fat tears are coming down because I realized in that moment, yes, I'm black and I'm a little girl and I had nothing to do with the Holocaust. But if everybody is one, I am as much Jew as I am German, as much German as I am Jew. All of us is. All of us is. And
Yeah.
you're right. To fight each other in this way over territory.
And my great grandmother was apparently from Gypsy's family.
Mhm.
So I have
Of
everything in me.
everything. That's right. And we all
And
do. All of humanity comes from a single woman in Africa.
yeah,
So
and it's not up to us to judge people by the color, by the religion. All
no,
the religions wants you to be the best. There is no religion who is telling you, "Oh, go and kill your neighbor,"
no, exactly.
but they
Exactly.
will kill for the
In
religion
the
reason.
name of religion. Yeah, no, it's bad. Well, I am
But
glad that you and I are in this work together. I'm glad that we have found each other. I hope to have you on again. I would love that. And thank you so much, Violetta.
you are very welcome. It was such a pleasure. I thought that I might not be able to sit today with you today. I was just thinking about calling and because I was in pain, but the pain is gone now.
Oh, I'm so glad. And I will send you Reiki. I'm a Reiki healer, so I will send you Reiki, and then that will help with your pain too.
Thank you.
But I love you. I think of you as a sister, and we will do
Yeah,
this again.
sisters, and we are all souls, so we choose not the easy path on our life. You lost your husband, but that was opening the door for you to be a tarot card, the cards reader.
That's right. That's right. All
You
things
know,
work together for good.
so everything is for reason. And my son was in my life to push me to be, because he believed in my psychic abilities.
Yes.
He knew that I'm different. So it was letting both of us to be who we're supposed to be.
And for to help the world. I mean, that's why we're doing this work is to help people.
We are trying to make a good influence because we don't want to repeat the life, but we choose the hard lives.
We did choose a hard life. Yes. Hard life, but a good one. And we chose it. That is the point. We are old souls. We didn't even have to come back if we didn't want to.
That probably we will be a spirit guides to
Right,
some other people, and
right,
we will be lucky to advise others.
right.
That's
But
what
for
I would.
now, here we are. All right. Listen, you all, thank you for being with me on another Sunday conversation. And I know you will have loved my guest, Violetta, and I will see you all early in the week. So have a great rest of your Saturday. No, it's not Saturday, Sunday.
Someday.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.